Hello and welcome to Green Healing, where we discuss alternative and natural healing from abuse and CPTSD. Today I want to talk about overcoming escapism and addiction, which is a symptom of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. One of the coping mechanisms we develop when we have CPTSD and when we've experienced trauma is escapism. To escape the reality of our trauma. Instead of seeking recreation and relaxation, we seek to disconnect in an unhealthy pattern of escapism and addiction. Escaping for recreation or relaxation and even to seek inspiration isn't a bad thing. It's a natural and healthy thing, but it becomes unhealthy if it's all the time and or has become a pattern that prevents us from healing or moving forward, or from functioning normally in our everyday lives. It causes problems to our physical health, mental health, and or career or relationships. There's no one size fits all for this to cure addictions or the addiction of escapism itself. For me, it wasn't substances. It was video games. Yes, I'm a gamer. I play video games, frequently. And today I have to schedule time to play because I'm so busy working and creating. But there was a time where I just couldn't cope. I wasn't working. I wasn't creating anything. I took a break from all of that because of all the trauma. And I was playing 6 or 7 hours a day in a very unhealthy way. I would skip meals. I wouldn't be in tune with my body if I was feeling ill or unwell, and I was prioritizing the game for time above everything else. So how did I go from being addicted to video games and playing an MMORPG every single day, 7 days a week, to barely playing any game at all, having to schedule gaming time for my gaming channel? The first step was I admitted that there was a problem. I had to admit that to myself. I became self-aware. Then I spoke with my family members, with my husband, with my mom, so that the others could understand why I needed this escape. Together we explored what I was going through that led me to escape. We also established a rule that my game never came first before the family. So if one of my stepkids came in, they had scraped their knee outside, I drop everything, I go take care of their wound. It was to slowly become aware of what mattered more and the situations where I want to relax, I want to play, as opposed to I can't deal with this, I need to escape, I need to be somewhere else, not in this reality. Was okay, when I don't want to be in this reality, I have to take care of that so that I can later actually enjoy the escapism for recreation and relaxation the way it was meant to be enjoyed. So I started categorizing playing for the right reasons and playing for the wrong reasons. Right reasons were recreation and entertainment, obviously. In my How Video Games Help video series on my other channels, I explained how my guild and how certain video games helped me overcome certain things. That was the healthy way, The wrong reasons were to escape, either because of certain symptoms like scary thoughts or a panic attack, rage, flashback, that sort of thing. Not all flashbacks caused me the need to escape. So I took note of what did and what didn't and worked hard on my healing to deal with what made me want to escape, deal with that trauma. The mind calm was a big part of it. The EFT is a big part of my healing every day today for the past several years. The other big factor was working on my projects. I wanted to create because I felt good. So the more I felt good, the more I created. The more I created, the more I felt good. So I turned a vicious cycle into a positivity cycle so that instead I'm just creating. And then when I escape, it's just for recreation, for inspiration, so that I can create even more. When I healed the depression, that also was a major factor in my progress with dealing with addiction and escapism, because my addiction wasn't the video games itself. My addiction was escapism. Sometimes it was also a question of just binge watching movies and TV shows and just escaping all the time. So that was the addiction, the escapism, the reflex to want to not be in this reality where the trauma exists. And after the Mind Calm Mind Detox, like I said, EFT helps a lot with that. I know that Richard Grannon, the Spartan Life Coach, on his channel talks about emotional literacy. Dealing with the emotional flashback is the key to healing the trauma. Every life coach, every expert I've tuned into, I've spoken to, they all say the same thing. So I'll say it here too. You have to learn to deal with the emotional flashback, to reduce the amount of emotional flashback. That's one of the trauma-based symptoms that will lead us the most towards escapism and addiction, or the addiction of escapism. And being able to handle that, to deal with that, is what permits me to not seek as much escapism, not seek to be able to, okay, well, now I'm going to play a bit so that I can record gameplay to have footage for my videos on my other channel, my gaming channel, but I have to schedule time. I manage everything. I prioritize my work. I prioritize my family, my projects above the escapism. And so that creates a healthy pattern. And when I do want to escape, this might not necessarily be like a foolproof solution for everyone. And it's better if you're followed with an expert, with a therapist. I have an EFT therapist. So I highly recommend, no matter what type of therapy you go through, to be able to deal with the flashbacks and the trauma, that you set up, healthy patterns, you set healthy, small, short-term, small goals, like that every time you can celebrate little victories. Otherwise, the big victories won't seem achievable, but it's very achievable, because I was able to, get pretty far in the progress compared to where I thought I'd be able to get to. As a recap, dealing with emotional flashbacks, learning to deal with the trauma through dealing with emotional flashbacks, identifying what creates that reflex of wanting to escape, of wanting to turn to that which you are addicted to, and then dealing with that to reduce the addiction, to reduce the reflex. Then whatever that isn't necessarily a problem anymore. And obviously, having a therapist to follow you and speaking with your loved ones to help come up with a healthy plan, if that's something that you can do with your loved ones. To close this episode of Green Healing, I want to narrate a Healing Through Humor capsule, Capsule 11, which is one of the Healing Through Humors that I wrote a few years ago. Paranoid about addictions. Me. Am I an alcoholic if I crave alcohol? Therapist. It depends. What are you craving exactly? Me. Amaretto. It's my favorite. Therapist. Okay. And have you ever been prone to being an alcoholic in the past? Me. No. Therapist. Okay. And how many times have you indulged in this craving this week? Me. 4 times. Therapist. Okay. How many times this month then? Me. 4 times. Therapist raises brow. Okay. How many times in the past 3 months or so? Me. 4 times. Therapist. Wait. You're worried you're turning into an alcoholic because you craved and indulged in your favorite alcohol 4 times in 1 week after going more than 3 months without drinking any alcohol at all? Me. That's correct. Therapist. Are you craving any now? Me. No, that 4th time gave me a stomachache and I'm scared I'll make myself sick, so I'm probably not going to drink for a while or so. So, am I an alcoholic? Like this video if it has helped you. Share it if you feel it'll help other people as well. And remember, empower yourself and be emotionally free.